The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the webinar to learn about an awesome property that is available. We're currently waiting for a few more people to get on, so we'll get started here in a minute or so. Thanks for your patience.
Hey everyone, it's Rick Silva. Thanks for getting on this morning. Bear with me while I click a few buttons. Okay, so this is a unique opportunity for all of us. So I just kind of want to let you know how this works. Normally, when somebody wants to invest with us and purchase land, they'll give us a dollar amount, and then we'll work with the company to find a property that best matches their budget. Once in a while, we're given a unique opportunity to offer an amazing property and then go out and find people that might be interested in it. So this is that unique opportunity to actually see what an available parcel looks like, the reasons why we invest where we invest, the potential for parcels like this. A couple things for you. If you have not seen our full land banking webinar, some of the things that Marcella covers might be a little confusing. It's no problem. We can cover it with you later. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is the parcels that we sell range from $20,000 up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if this parcel that we're showing today is either too high for you or too low, we'll be more than happy to get you something that matches your budget a little bit better. So again, really awesome opportunity. Thank you very much for getting on a Saturday morning to look at this property. And oh yeah, one other thing. Sorry, one other thing I forgot. One thing with land, everyone, land is not something like if you go to Costco and you see a shirt on the shelf and you go, hey, I'm going to buy another one of those shirts. I'll just go back and get another one. This parcel you're going to see, they're all unique. Land is a finite resource. It's not something that can be replicated over and over and over again. So this is the only parcel you're going to see like this. There's not another exact one. They're all in different locations. They all have different opportunities. So if you are interested in this property, it's a first come, first served basis. So the first person that either in the questions area of the webinar says I'm interested, or if you want to text me, and I'll give you my phone number, you can text me. It's the first person who says they're interested will get the property. My cell phone number to text me is 510-755-4556. One more time, 510-755-4556. Thanks again for getting on. Here's Marcella to go over the details of the property. We'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this Easter Saturday weekend. So again, my name is Marcella Silva. I'm going to be giving a little bit of background about what land banking is, since there are some new people on here who I'm not familiar with. And just a reminder, land is actually the original American dream. If you look back to the 1800s, early 1900s, it was always about land. And a lot of other cultures throughout the world, land is the basis of wealth. Here in America, however, we've kind of forgotten about land because of the advent of the stock market and traditional real estate investments. But land is underneath everything, and it never goes out of style. General Douglas MacArthur describes what we do best when he says all a man has to do to become rich in America is find out where people are going, get there first, buy land while it's affordable, and then wait. It's really that simple when investing with us. So what we specialize in is known as land banking. Land banking, by definition, is the practice of buying affordable, pre-developed land located in the path of growth. For those of you who live in California, you know exactly what I'm talking about, especially if you've been here for 15 plus years. This is an example of land banking at its finest. This is Milpitas, California, which is located in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's roughly 20 miles to the southeast of San Francisco. When I say we invest in a pre-developed area, pre-developed means existing developments, existing infrastructure, but still a lot of land available to be developed. That's when we want to invest in the land at that point. It's still affordable. In this picture, anywhere from $1,000 to $50,000 per acre, depending on zoning and location of the property. I actually know somebody who bought 10 acres of land in this picture for $10,000. And now they're very wealthy because they had the foresight and the vision to buy the land when it looked ugly. I mean, land doesn't have to look beautiful, doesn't even have to be the right price, but if it's in the right area and the growth is happening and there's a strong economy, it can do very, very well over time. Click the button, 7 years later, you can see the amount of development that's come into the area. So obviously it's a high growth area. That's where we want to invest. As those developments come in, it consumes the land, causing there to be less land available. And by the way, in case you didn't know, they're not making any more of it. So in this picture, $500,000 to $1 million per acre. And today, 2 to 7 million per acre. And the key with land is it's not going to go from 2 million per acre back down to 50,000 per acre, simply because there's no more land left. And if you're in high growth areas like California, what happens is the values just continue to go up and up. So a little bit about our company, Velour Enterprises. I represent them. They are land experts. They've been in the land business for close to 40 years now, since 1979. And our core competency is doing the comprehensive analysis or due diligence of the properties themselves. So for every property we provide to an investor, it has gone through our due diligence process. And just to give you an example, out of 30 properties we look at any one time, we purchase about one. It's a 30-to-1 ratio. So all of the properties that you do purchase, they are coming out of Velour's personal inventory, and Velour is a very conservative company. They don't want to risk their monies, and they definitely don't want to risk their investors' monies. That's why this due diligence process is so important. We have over 22,000 investors in our database, 0 consumer-related lawsuits, and have bought and sold over 100,000 acres of land. We are literally the largest controllers of land in the areas where we invest. So our 3 points of service to our investors is providing the quality property to our investor after you purchase. It's not like, goodbye, good luck, I hope you do well. We continually provide you with updates, letting you know what's happening in the area, new developments that are coming in, law changes, zoning changes, so much so that we actually have weekly webinars that you can attend to hear about what's happening. And then the point of arbitrage. So this is the point where we make a lot of money. And how that kind of works is, let's say, for example, you own this parcel of land right here in the middle, this little square. Let's say it's 2.5 acres. You don't have to own a whole bunch of it. You just need a little piece of it. And what happens is the developer will come along and say, hey, I need all of this land, let's say it's 100 acres, and you're right in the middle of it. What happens is the developer goes to the county and figures out who owns that land, and then they start contacting you. At that point, when developers start contacting you, that's the market coming to you because they need your land. We recommend that you contact us at Valor, and we will help you to do the negotiations to get the highest and best price for your property, and we do that completely free of charge for our investors. So in this picture, this is Rancho Cucamonga in 2002. The reason why we're looking at this particular picture is because this on and off ramp is currently being constructed in this picture. If you know ahead of time where new infrastructure is coming in and you buy the land that will be affected by that infrastructure, you can do it very well with it. That's from 2002 to now 2012. You can see the amount of development that's come into the area and what came in first, the on and off ramp. So infrastructure is one of the many things that we pay attention to. And you will see the property that's available today has a lot of different infrastructure projects coming in. So we only focus in California, which if you compare it to nations across the world, California is the 6th largest economy in the world. If we take US off of there, then we are the 5th largest economy in the entire world, and we are just a state. Now, we only focus in very specific areas of California. There's a lot of reasons why certain areas, which I'm not going to go into today, but the main area right now where we're at is in northern LA County, where there is a tremendous amount of economic drivers causing this area to grow at a very rapid pace. Sorry about that. I think Rick got unmuted on his other line. So we want an area that has a strong economy. And today, as we go through this, you're going to see the various economic factors that would be affecting this particular property. And a little quick background about LA County. LA County has over 10 million residents. If LA County's population exceeds that of 43 states here in America and is the 20th largest economy in the world, just by itself. Those were 2016-17 numbers. Now looking forward to 2018-19, we're at over 10.3 million people in LA County. LA County's economic performance will continue to outpace the nation. Very low unemployment rates as well, around 4%, which is technically a zero unemployment rate. So again, here's LA County, 20th largest economy in the world, and that's why we invest there, strong economy. This is the mayor of Lancaster, one of the cities we invest in. Lancaster and Palmdale make up the Antelope Valley. The Antelope Valley today has roughly over 500,000 people, close to 600,000 people now. The mayor, in one of his articles, says, "Before I leave this office, there will be 1 million people here. Before my successor leaves office, there will be 3 million people here." The reason why he's saying these huge numbers is because he understands the strong economic powerhouse that LA County is, and he also understands that his area has the last remaining developable land left. Powerful position to be in, and that's why we focus in that area. So now let's get into the details of the property. This particular property is 1¼ acres. The location is in Palmdale. The exact location is M13 and 2nd Street West, which probably means nothing to you, but the main thing is it's in Palmdale. That's what makes me excited about this particular property, because not a lot of properties come up in Palmdale. That particular city is pretty built out already, so there's not a lot of available land left. The zoning is business park, so there's even less available land that's developable that's zoned business park. My husband Rick and I, we actually have a property in this general location, also zoned business park. We bought it probably 4 years ago, and I've seen maybe 1 or 2 released since then. Purchase price for this property is $110,000, works out to $88,000 per acre and $2.02 per square foot. This is called the plat map, which shows the details of the location of the property. How you really locate the property is using the legal description. So if I was sitting in front of you right now and I had this really big map, I would pull it out, show you the city of Palmdale, which is in LA County, and then narrow it down to Township 6 North and range 12W. It's kind of laid out in a grid. The entire US is laid out in this township and range grid. And then inside of that area, we would find section 3, and section 3 is this particular square that we're looking at right here, which is, by the way, is 1 square mile. Then we narrow it down further. We look at the southeast quarter of that. So that brings us to this square here, southeast quarter. Then the southeast quarter of that, which takes us down to these 4 squares. Then the northwest quarter, which takes us to this, which is 10 acres. And then the southwest quarter, which takes us here, where my mouse is. Hopefully you're able to follow along. And then the north half of that, which is the actual parcel itself. It's that black box that you're looking at right here, which is 1.25 acres. Also, some other things to note on this particular plat map. City of Palmdale designates this as a business park zoning. Also notice Avenue M. I will be mentioning Avenue M. This is already paved with electricity, phone, utilities already in. 10th Street West. This is a major thoroughfare right here. Paved electricity, phone. Also, this is already developed out. Businesses, offices, gas stations, etc. And then a third of a mile from here is Freeway 14. Freeway 14 is the major freeway headed into downtown LA. So being right off of a major infrastructure like the freeway is a huge deal. Also just to the south of it, so less than a quarter of a mile to the south, is Avenue N, which is also already paved with electricity. Have some offices over here, credit union, gas station. Then notice we have Sierra Highway. This is another major road running through the area, and following alongside it, parallel, is the Southern Pacific Railroad. So I'll be touching bases on a lot of these different things. And then directly to the east is Air Force Plant 42, home to airport and many Department of Defense contractors. Again, I'll go into all of those details. This is the City of Palmdale General Plan map, which shows the zonings of Palmdale. The star represents essentially where the property is located inside of this blue color. If we zoom in to the legend, that blue color matches up here with business park zoning, just as we mentioned on the plat map. And here's an even closer look. So there we have 10th Street West. This is Avenue M, this is Avenue N, and Division Street, and the property is essentially located right there. So what is business park zoning? This comes from the City of Palmdale General Plan. The business park designation is intended to permit a variety of office, research and development, light assembly and fabrication, and supportive commercial uses within an environment characterized by master plan complexes, maintaining a high quality of design and construction. Development in this designation is expected to provide enhanced landscaping and outdoor amenities to create a campus-like setting. So for those of you who live in the San Francisco Bay Area, if you're familiar with San Ramon, Bishop Ranch is a very good example of a business park. Operations and storage activities are to be confined to enclosed buildings. This designation is appropriate in locations with good access and visibility from the freeway and major arterials. I pointed out to the freeway as well as the major arterials surrounding this particular property. Site areas should be large enough to accommodate comprehensive planning, and adjacent business park development should be designed to promote cohesive and compatible development. So with this particular zoning and in this area, they do not want piecemeal types of developments coming in. Again, they want a campus type of setting. So when this gets developed out, it will largely get developed out as a whole. So now we're going to look at the 3-mile radius of the property and some of the developments happening in that area. I say some because there's so many. Now, the reason why we care about the 3-mile radius is because the Urban Land Institute has done studies, and they have found when a development comes into an area, it causes the surrounding values of land within a 3-mile radius to increase in value. So let's say we own this property, and a new development comes in 3 miles away. That's increasing the value of the land by 10% appreciation. 2 miles is 20% appreciation, and 1 mile is 30% appreciation, and these numbers are coming from the Urban Land Institute. They are very conservative numbers from what I have personally seen, but here at Velour, we always like to err on the sorry. We always like to be conservative. So here's the 3-mile radius. This is Google Earth showing surrounding developments. And then you can see all of these little icons that I have put in here, like a bed and a little shopping basket, housing, these little wrenches, the H, all of those little icons represent new developments that I personally know about that are coming into the area. There are a lot of developments that I do not know about. Velour, of course, does, but I may not have that information, so it might not be representative on here. So we'll cover some of what's going on in that 3-mile radius. And if you look at the 3-mile radius, there's not a whole lot of land left to be developed. By the way, this land over here, that land is not available for public purchase. That is all owned by the airport and government. So let's start with infrastructure. Infrastructure is very important. It's the lifeblood of prosperity and economic confidence, and there's a clear and powerful linkage between investments in infrastructure and future growth of an area. So the Antelope Valley is putting in millions of dollars to upgrade various on and off ramps along Freeway 14. Millions of dollars. And the closest one will be Avenue M. Avenue M, it's probably, the on and off ramp is roughly a mile away from this particular property. Remember what I showed you towards the beginning about the example of an on and off ramp being developed? And the construction is expected to go through 2019 on Avenue M. $95 million is being spent to upgrade these various interchanges. Cities and governments are not going to spend millions of dollars for no reason on infrastructure. They're doing it because they're planning for the future growth of an area. Important things to understand. Also, 10th Street West. I showed you that on the plat map as it's directly to the west of the property. So this is the circulation plan of the city of Palmdale, laying out the various roads and highways and what they plan for them to become. The red represents the red star represents the property. This is 10th Street West right here. This is Avenue M, Sierra Highway. Notice they are all black and white. Black and white is a regional arterial road. Regional arterial roads can get upwards of 8 lanes on total, so 4 lanes on each side. Major boulevards. Just think about any American city that has the 8-lane roads running through it. Those are usually the major roads running through that city. So we're right between multiple different major arterial roads. Great location to be. And then here is Freeway 14. This is the freeway running into downtown LA. By the way, it's about 60 freeway miles to downtown LA. 10th Street West right now is going through a widening because of all of the traffic coming in and out of there. It is a major north-south corridor in the city, which provides access for the retail and business communities near the freeway interchange, including the Antelope Valley and Sierra Common Shopping Center. All of this is within the 3-mile radius of the property. Another major infrastructure upgrade is Highway 138, connecting Freeway 5 on the western side of LA County, all the way out to Freeway 15 in San Bernardino County. This will probably be the very last freeway ever built in Southern California, and this particular property will be affected by it. Here's the property, this little star. this is what they have plans for that brand new freeway that's coming into the area. Notice right off of Avenue M, they plan on putting a new freeway on and off ramp there. And then here's Avenue M, which is going to be upgraded with the new freeway on and off ramp. And then here's the brand new freeway that's going to be running all the way out to Freeway 15 in the San Bernardino area. Important infrastructure. This was an article from last year regarding this particular project. It's called the High Desert Corridor. To bridge Palmdale and Victorville is to connect the Antelope Valley and Victor Valleys, two fast-growing exurban regions that each are tied to one of the continent's most important highway corridors. So Palmdale's home region, the Antelope Valley in LA County, has now over 500,000 people in the area. So again, here's the property in relation to that brand new freeway that's going through there. Major impact on not just this particular property, but the entire area. These are those same on and off ramps. Also, Palmdale is poised to become a regional intermodal transportation hub. This is the only city in America that has multiple different modes of transportation descending upon it. What do I mean by that? The Palmdale Transportation Center is positioned to be an intermodal center where there's an airport, there's going to be two high-speed rail systems, regional bus service, Metrolink and Amtrak, which are already there, and then two freeways, all converging into this particular location, which is just to the south of the property. So here's the property. Here is the Palmdale Airport right next to it. By the way, Palmdale a few years ago took over their regional airport. It used to be run by Los Angeles World Airports, which runs other airports like LAX, Ontario, Burbank, etc. But they weren't really utilizing it. So Palmdale decided they wanted to take over their airport and take control of it. A series of transportation studies are the next step. This is according to the mayor of Palmdale to determine how the airport and other existing transit systems will connect with the future high-speed rail lines that are planned to join a short distance from the airport terminal in Palmdale. In recent years, they have actively pursued resuming control of Palmdale Regional Airport for the future development of and growth of this particular facility. The plan consists of air, rail travel, including a proposed high-speed rail, proposed High Desert Express, and existing Metrolink service. So the California high-speed rail obviously will be having a stop here in Palmdale. And from Palmdale, it will head straight to Burbank. And I've heard that that would be a 15-minute ride from Palmdale to Burbank. Imagine the amount of people who would be commuting on that. And then the second high-speed rail most people have not heard about is called Express West. So that connects Palmdale out to Victorville and then to Las Vegas. So the only intersections of what will be the very first two high-speed rails in America is going to be in Palmdale. And then you have also the rail already existing there, rail, bus, freeway, brand new freeway coming in, and then the airport coming in. So this is just another example of how the California high-speed rail will be going, and then the Express West project. Everybody always asks me, when is the high-speed rail going to be done? With any major project like this, there's going to be a lot of push and pull, a lot of political interference. It's going to take time. It's going to cost billions of dollars. But the key is that it has to happen because population keeps growing and the freeway systems are already maxed out. What they fail to mention in a lot of the news is how much it would cost California if they did not do the high-speed rail. So here's, an article that's expecting it to go through the Palmdale area as early as 2022. I doubt it's going to be that early, but they're really trying to push it through. So here's where the property is in relation to the other projects I just mentioned. So here's Freeway 14. This is where the California high-speed rail will be. The actual stop is right down here where the letter B is. High Desert Corridor, that's the new freeway that's going to be coming through here. The Metro Link is already in existence just to the south of this, and then Express West running along here as well. Bullet trains fuel real estate booms, improve quality of life, and create other unintended consequences by sharply reducing commute times from smaller cities to large megacities. By the way, this California high-speed rail is just the cherry on top of everything else that's going on there. We are not investing here based off of the California high-speed rail. That's just an additional infrastructure project that is coming in. We're investing in this area because of the strong economy and growth that's happening there. Here's a picture near the future high-speed rail station. You can see the amount of development that's already coming in there, completely building it out. And it's not just happening in Palmdale, it's happening in every city throughout California that is going to have a stop. Next time you're in San Francisco, you see a bunch of developments happening around Howard Street. All of that is around what is going to be the California high-speed rail stop in San Francisco. Same thing in LA as well. Also nearby is Kinki Shario, which is a Japanese light rail car manufacturer. They came into Palmdale about 3 years ago, and right now they took over an existing manufacturing facility nearby, but they plan on building out a brand new facility nearby this particular property, less than a mile away actually. And they are also bidding to manufacture the high-speed rail cars as well. So that would be amazing if the manufacturer of the high-speed rail cars were also located in Palmdale as well. So again, this is the Antelope Valley with their intermodal transportation, including rail, freeway, air, bus, the whole thing combined. Now let's look at various developments that are coming into the area or are already into the area. And as developments come in, this is increasing the value of the land, equity gain. So directly to the north of the property, and I forgot to point it out on the plat map, it even says it, there's the Antelope Valley Courthouse, LA Superior Court directly to the north of the property. That's a picture of it. Brand new Morton manufacturing plant was built, started in 2014. We notice the surrounding land around it. That's because they already have plans for future expansion. So as that gets developed, that's going to be instant equity gain in the property. This is along Avenue L, so roughly a little over a mile to the north of the property. Lance Camper Manufacturing just did a 61,000 square foot expansion. They're in the city of Lancaster. By the way, Lancaster and Palmdale, they're only separated by a road, which is Avenue M. So it's basically all one big city, but you know, they're separate cities. And the good thing about them is they try to compete against each other. They both want to be better and bigger than the other one, which works out great for us as landowners in these cities. Also, all new green Kaiser Permanente facility was built. I believe it opened in 2013, 2014. $500 million project along Avenue L, and notice 10th Street West. This is that major thoroughfare running by the property as well. So this was it under construction back in 2013, opened in 2014. It's an absolutely beautiful building that was just recently completed. Also, something to note about this particular property, it is inside what is called as the Antelope Valley Enterprise Zone. So some of you may be familiar with California Competes, which was a program passed by our governor that gives a bunch of sales tax credits, hiring credits to businesses that move into areas like this Antelope Valley Enterprise Zone. So a business would want to move into one of these enterprise zones because it is more incentive for them. Plus they get a ton of tax breaks, tax incentives. Kinki Shario, which is the Japanese rail manufacturer, they were part of receiving over $3.4 million from the government because of California Competes and being inside of the Antelope Valley Enterprise Zone. You can take advantage of that as a business owner. And to the south, there is a ton of commercial development that's already in, from Sam's Club, Walmart, Office Depot. So all of this is just a little over a mile to the south of the property, from gyms to the mall, Cinemark, got your movies, your Targets, your Lowe's, everything just to the south there. By the way, land recently was for sale a couple of years ago, actually, for $18.37 per square foot. And again, this is just a little over a mile to the south of the property. There's the Antelope Valley. Look, notice 10th Street West. We are directly to the north here of 10th Street West. Last year, several new commercial projects came in, from breweries to Starbucks, Baskin Robbins. The Antelope Valley Mall had a bunch of things. Rock and Jump, Papa Murphy, Smart and Final, Hobby Lobby, Dunkin' Donuts, Home Goods, Planet Fitness, Auto Mall expansion. And that was just in 2016. A lot of those were completed in 2017. This is another commercial project, also just about a mile and a half to the south of the property, completely built out next to Target. So an Aldi grocery store. By the way, Aldi is the brother of Trader Joe's. There is a Trader Joe's just across the street in this particular area. These types of companies would not be coming into this area if they did not have the population and the population with money to supply it. Chick-fil-A, Yogurtland, Krispy Kreme, Habit, all developed out. By the way, this land right here sold for $98 per square foot. $98 per square foot. Some other projects coming in have to do with Proposition 64, which was recently passed here in California, the legalization of marijuana. And January 1st, 2018, made California the largest and most influential state in the cannabis industry. Huge economic impacts for us, bringing in billions of dollars. Over $1.5 billion in additional revenues is expected just in 2018. By 2020, they are expecting $4 billion in annual market sales. So just the cannabis alone could push us up. Right now, I said we're the 6th largest economy in the world. Here it's saying it again. We could easily pass the UK and France based off, or we already are past France. UK and I think China and Japan are above us with what's happening with cannabis cultivation. Ultimately, they're hoping to build a $7 billion economy in California just around cannabis. And this is one of the many, many economic factors keeping California such an economic powerhouse, especially in the LA area. So the main thing, and this is why these cities are looking at this, is because of the tax revenue that could be coming in from these facilities being built. So Lancaster recently just approved 5 different projects to come in. One of those projects is just over a mile away from this property to the north. Adelanto is another city where we invest that has already started bringing in these cultivation centers. And as a result of it, it has enormously increased the land values. Land values have increased an unbelievable 1,286% in 18 months just as a result of cannabis. Velour has several investors who got to reap the benefits from this in this particular area. This is one of the other areas where we invest. So like I just mentioned, Lancaster has accepted 5 different medical facilities. One of them is just to the north along Avenue L and 8th Street East, roughly a mile to a mile and a half away. Then we have Palmdale Airport and Air Force Plant 42. This is directly to the east of this particular property. So Southern California is huge in the aerospace industry, And Palmdale has multiple aerospace Department of Defense contractors in the area, one of them being Northrop Grumman. So some of you may have heard back in the end of 2015, the Air Force granted a new contract to Northrop Grumman to build the next new bomber. And guess where it's being built? Right in our own city of Palmdale. $80 billion project. So there's a lot to consider regarding this particular project. As a result of that contract, they're now having to upgrade all of their facilities, build in a brand new facility, noticed along Avenue M and 30th Street East. So this particular Northrop Grumman facility is directly to the east of the property. They're going to be going through a major expansion. So here's Avenue M. Here's Freeway 14. The property is located roughly around here where my mouse is. So once that upgrade happens, that's going to be an instant increase in value to this particular property. But also, let's look at the economic impact of these contracts. So the new facility that they're going to be building is going to be, I think, over 1.5 million square feet, which is equivalent to the size of the Rose Bowl. Massive, massive facility coming in there. Not only did they get awarded the brand new bomber, B-21 bomber, but also they got an $8.2 billion contract for the F-35 Joint Strike Fighters, $35.2 million contract for the MQ-4 Triton. So there's the Triton. There are those bombers. And then on top of it, they're going to be manufactured there at Air Force Plant 42 at Northrop Grumman, and then they're going to be tested in Lancaster at Edwards Air Force Base. So it's just creating jobs all over this area. Job creation is one of the big things that we also pay attention to when investing in land. We want major industries in the area that are bringing in jobs, and this is a major employment. Just for the B-2 stealth bomber, it's expecting not only do they have to build out that new area, it will expand the workforce there by some 1,700 employees by December 2019. That's huge. Now, instead of $80 billion price tag, they're looking at a $97 billion price tag. Think about the own cities that you live in. Do you have projects coming in that are bringing in billions of dollars to that area? A lot of places do not. Imagine owning land in an area like that. I mean, just look around the Bay Area and how much development has come in, and that's just as a result of tech, Silicon Valley, which, by the way, LA has more tech jobs than the Silicon Valley does. That's huge. Northrop Grumman expansion to add jobs. Again, this is just more information about it. The Air Force awarded $55 billion contract. So there's all different sorts of numbers. They're ranging from $55 billion to $95 billion, whatever the case may be. It's billions of dollars coming in for the new bomber. It's probably going to be on the higher end of the scale because with government, it always costs more. I know, I used to work for the government. This announcement is expected to bring more than 6,000 new primary aerospace jobs to the city of Palmdale. Building military planes is nothing new to the Antelope Valley, but it's been over a decade since the High Desert landed a multi-billion-dollar contract. This is huge, huge for this area. So now let's look further at employment. There's something called a base industry. This would be considered a base industry, an aerospace job. For each new job that is created, there is something called the population multiplier. So let's read this. Assume that a city brings in 200 new jobs in healthcare or aerospace, for example, which is a base industry. Research indicates that the increase of 200 jobs in the base industry was accompanied by an increase of 300 jobs in the service sector. So all the ancillary jobs, people working at the local gas stations, Walmart, Starbucks, etc. Collectively, there would be a total of 500 new jobs created. So that multiplier is 2.5. So for each new job created, It's increasing the population by 2.5 times for other jobs. Continuing the example, in addition, demographic research may show that each new employee has an average of family size of 2 people. As a result of the population multiplier, one new job in the base industry will be responsible for population growth of 5 people in a city or region. So it just said they're expecting 6,000 new primary aerospace jobs in the city. 6,000 times 5? That's a lot of people just coming into the area because of these contracts for the aerospace. This was an article when the project was first announced. They said this will bring 1,100 direct jobs to the region and possibly as many as 5,500 indirect jobs, ancillary jobs, 5 times multiplier. As a result of that contract, several new hotels are being built. And all of these hotels are within the 3-mile radius of this property. So this is Element Hotel, which last I saw it, it was almost completed. It's probably completed by now. This is what it's going to look like. Hilton Home 2 Suites by Hilton. And then there was a third one. I don't have that one on here. Embassy Suites, that's already been completed. That was completed in 2013, but all of the land in front of it, they plan on putting a massive convention center in that area. So you can just see all the development and what's coming into Palmdale. This was, I think this came from the city of Palmdale. I get a lot of this information from those Tuesday night webinars that I recommend my investors watch every Tuesday night to stay updated. We have Northrop Grumman bomber, the new hotels, Oasis Medical Campus. So there's going to be a medical campus being built just about 3 miles to the southeast of this property, and it's going to be right next to the Palmdale Regional Hospital, which was just completed in 2010 and already has plans for more expansion. Palmdale Aerospace Academy, as well as at least 2 other brand new schools, have recently been built in Palmdale. A brand new CarMax also just recently opened up their doors last year. And wait, we're not done yet. Gas power plant is okayed by the city of Palmdale, will be built right next to the Air Force Plant 42, and this particular property is right next to Air Force Plant 42. So this is where it's going to be built along Avenue M and 10th Street East, and here's where the property is located, that star. This was an article. This is the Mayor Ledford of Palmdale. Thursday, August 17th, 2017, Mayor Jim Ledford announced a slew of new stores, hotels, and other businesses coming into Palmdale. I'm not going to go through the entire article. I'm going to skip right to the point that I really care about. He said they issued requests for proposals for 117 acres of land at the southeast corner of Avenue M and 10th Street West. This is located right on the plat map that I was just showing you. They're telling us they're planning for commercial, office, residential, industrial combination mixed use development right at the corner of Avenue M and 10th Street West. This is about half a mile away from this property. There's M, 10th Street West. This is the corner they're talking about developing, and the property is located roughly right here. These arrows are indicating the last basically completely open, undeveloped slate of land in the city of Palmdale near all of this infrastructure. If you can own land here, we highly recommend it. Also, at the end of last year, Palmdale submitted a bid for Amazon's new headquarters site. Honestly, we don't feel that they will choose Palmdale because Palmdale just isn't far enough along in the development cycle. That's why we are able to still buy land there. But if it did come in, anything's possible. They are considering this business park land, M 10th Street East, for the new Amazon headquarters. And if Amazon doesn't come in, at least, hey, they're looking at it. If they don't, that could open it up for future Amazons of the world moving forward. Also, the city of Palmdale has a very strong credit rating. The city's ratings, other than strong and very strong scores, are a testament to the city's leadership and future financials. So having a strong economy and city with strong financials is important. Also, last year, Palmdale was voted one of the best cities for living the American dream in 2017. And they looked at 261 of the largest cities that America has, and Palmdale fit right into the top 10. So here they are. There's Palmdale, they're number 10. And they looked at cities across the United States. Here's an aerial view. So this particular golf course is just to the south of the property within the 3-mile radius. And we have a lot of that commercial development that I was just talking about. By the way, this is an older picture, so a lot of development is not on here. Those new hotels I was just telling you about are being built in this general vicinity. This is where the new conference center is going to be. That new CarMax that just recently opened is now consuming all of this land right here. The brand new Oasis Medical Center that's going to be built is right here where my mouse is. So those are just an example of some of the projects coming in. Land truly is the original American dream. That's why I personally put all of my money into land with velour, various different locations I have, and I feel very blessed that Rick and I were able to purchase a property in this area. Nearby land comps, and we only look at comps if we know it's a like-for-like investment, meaning it is fully developable and a quality piece of land, like what we provide to investors. Not all land is developable. Literally, 2 pieces of land right next to each other could be worlds apart in value if one is not developable. So the only way that I'm showing this is if I know it's a developable land. M14th and 11th Street West. I mean, this is less than a mile away, selling for $11.38 per square foot. M4 and 10th Street West, also within a mile, selling for $12.07 per square foot. Notice there's 10th Street West, there's Freeway 14, all of the things we were just talking about. So here we have 10th Street West, Avenue M, Freeway 14 is just on the other side of these businesses. Here's the particular property. Here's the 3-mile radius again. So just to point out some of the things we talked about. The new Palmdale power plant, and these are the 1-mile, 2-mile, 3-mile radius. Kinky Chariot, that's where they plan on potentially putting their future manufacturing facility for the light rail manufacturing. There's even solar coming in nearby. Lance Camper Manufacturing, Morton Manufacturing, the brand new Kaiser Hospital. San Joaquin Valley College is here. I didn't even talk about that. New DMV office. This is where the new Avenue M interchange is going to be. All of the new commercial developments that have come in are down here to the south, as well as the new hotels. And then you have Palmdale Regional Hospital, as well as the Oasis facility that's coming in. And then this is where the high-speed rail transportation corridor is located, which we went over quite extensively. And then you have the airport, as well as the big Department of Defense contractors, including Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, NASA, Boeing is also located in there. So several new projects coming into this area. By the way, that is how Burbank started out. Burbank Airport, this is a picture of what it looks like today. Palmdale is quickly reaching that max capacity. So at Velour, we say instead of investing in a company, invest in the asset that every company needs. So again, this is a first come, first serve basis. If you are interested, and I still have to talk to Rick because I'm not sure exactly I've been focused on getting this information out to all of you. If you're interested in the property, please let us know as soon as possible. I might have somebody who is interested in taking 50% of it. So if you don't have the entire $110,000, 50%, $55,000, and you can be an owner in this very strategic location. We have this property through the weekend So please get a hold of me as soon as possible. By Monday, it will be gone, if not before then. All right, everyone, have a wonderful Easter weekend. Thank you all for taking the time to join us and learn about this business park property. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Thank you.